I'm sitting here in our garden in Sri Lanka with Rory, and I had this idea to share with each other and also with you how it is that we've been gifted, how it is that we've been changed by being here. And it reminds me of this quote from a D.H. Lawrence book called Sardinia and the Sea. There's a line in it that says, "Italy has given me back, I know not what of myself, but a very, very great deal." And I feel that about Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has given me back, I know not what of myself, but a very, very great deal.
Sorry.
We also happen to be outside right now at dusk, and there's plenty of mosquitoes. And Rory's trying to get the essential oil bug spray on. Okay, so I want to ask you first, and then you can say whatever you want. What has Sri Lanka given to you?
A few different things. One of them I was noticing today while I was riding the motorcycle is visual awareness. So with the jungle, there's so much going on around you at all times. Like right now, as we sit here, the fish are jumping in the pond. There's mosquitoes are biting, but birds and the trees swaying, and there's so much visually that's happening. And I have a friend, Danusha, who whenever we'd go places, he'd see things that I didn't see. I'm like, oh, and it kind of opened up my vision.
A Sri Lankan guy.
Yeah, Danusha is a Sri Lankan guy. And awareness. Because you have to be aware, like especially if you're driving, you have to be really aware. And it's not so much awareness as like a tapping into a school of fish or something like that. So it's a different kind of awareness than
it's like a kind of high of consciousness or something.
Yeah, we were joking about making a tuk-tuk video game. Wait, I shouldn't say that on the interview because
you want to
steal my idea.
All right,
please don't steal my idea. And if you do, I'll come after you. It's given me that groundedness too. Huh! Huh!
What are you doing?
Like dogs in our yard.
Focus.
See, I visually was aware of the dog in the corner of my eye.
Oh my God.
And there's a certain groundedness that you get here because you're so connected to the earth. Everything that you eat is fresh picked. There's nothing's. You have to find the processed food, which is like really.
You have to search out processed food if you want it.
Yeah. And everything's, if it's 2 days old, it's like they don't use it. And it's rare to have a refrigerator because you eat your meal, you cook your meal and you eat your meal every day, pretty much. And leftovers are a Western thing.
I want to piggyback something onto that about okay, so it's like it's the tropics and it's hot and it's humid and things go bad fast. Like we have these bananas. We get bananas all the time. We pretty much always have bananas. And the bananas go bad fast because of the temperature. If you leave things out, they go bad fast. Stuff digests and breaks down. And everything is recycled. You know, if you drop a piece of food on the floor, surely it will be carried off by the next morning. Everything is turning into something else in this great recycling of life. It's at such a fast pace while you're also being, I feel like part of what Sri Lanka's given me is the capacity to know how to slow down. So it's an interesting thing to be slowed down while the actual environment speeds up the process of life, really, of life, death, life, death, life.
Yeah, slowing down. That's a really good one. And also, it's a different kind of work ethic here. It's all about helping rather than gaining.
That's so true.
Yeah, so it's not, when you're asking someone to work, you're asking them to help you. And you're not asking them to work for you. So it's a really different deal. So like today, I filled my knapsack full of teacups and little cookies and went over tea time.
I'll put in here
to the job site. It's off our home, so I wasn't there in the morning.
Let me insert too that the job site it's the local elementary school where Rory's part of a project that one of his friends started that has to do with redoing the washrooms at the school because they were in really, really, really bad shape.
Yeah. So I showed up with the tea and the cookies, and it's great because you have tea time, and it's a pretty standard deal to take tea and take a break. Yeah, and rather than like just, I don't know, powering through it and blah blah blah.
Yeah, or like drinking a giant latte so that it speeds you up so that you can work harder and plow through better.
Yeah, you have a little tiny half cup of tea and little cookies.
And a real break.
Yeah, it's more communal effort. And so I read this article once. I heard on NPR something about rice cultures versus wheat cultures. So Sri Lanka is a rice-based culture. I actually did the study in China where there's a wheat section of China, and a lot of China is rice-based, but there's also wheat-based China. And the rice-based culture is more communal.
That's Bonnie's friend.
I know, all right. And so, sorry about that. So the rice-based culture have to flood the fields together, have to work communally to grow the rice and pick the rice, and it's it's like a commonality between them where everybody works together. In wheat-based cultures, it's more individualistic, like you could work the field yourself, or you have a combine or something like that. So it's more individualism compared to communalism, and you can see that here.
And how's that changed you? How's that changed your life? How are you different?
Oh, I think I started as commie.
Go on now.
It just makes me view things differently. So, and also understanding people. So, like when I'm in the West, I understand. Oh, what's Bonnie? And so
Bonnie's our dog.
And so in the West, I understand, how people are, what they're operating on, and so you adapt differently to the society you're in, to the culture you're in.
I don't really feel clear on how the communal things changed your life.
Well, I got on my motorcycle and went and brought tea to the guys today.
Mm-hmm.
If I was in the U.S., I'm like, whatever, you guys got to go to Starbucks and get your own coffee,
Oh, you've become more community-minded because of how you've been affected by the community.
Yeah, it was like an important thing to me. It's like, oh, those guys are working. They need some tea right now. So, if some guys are working in the U.S., it's like, yeah, those guys are working. See you later.
Okay. Ask me a question.
Oh, what's Bonnie doing over in the corner there?
Ask me another question.
Do you like Sri Lanka?
Oh, that's such a good question. I have a deep love for Sri Lanka that's genuine, and it's not like a frilly, I get everything I want from you, therefore I love you kind of love. It's like, I've had a lot of struggles and challenges here on many different levels and for many different reasons. It's not an easy place to be when you choose to come and stay here for long periods of time and have a home and build things and create things here. So I love it in that way that we had the good times together and the hard times together, and I see what it's gifted me and what I've gifted it, and so it's a real love. It's a substantial love. Sometimes in any given moment, sometimes when I'm having a hard day, like if I get overwhelmed by the pollution, if we go out on a tuk-tuk ride into the city, I just want to run away. Or when I just want some good gluten-free snacks somewhere that I can get ready-made. Or when I get sick of eating rice. That's my answer. I love Sri Lanka. And sometimes I don't like it.
Oh.
You have any more questions? Should we close it up?
What's your favorite animal here?
My favorite animal...
Besides Bonnie.
Bonnie's making her way over to us right now. Oh!
Well,
what is it, Bonnie?
She's the turtle. I think she sees a turtle.
What is it, girl?
What's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal here in Sri Lanka, it's just the birds. The birds are so amazing. Their song is so amazing. You can sit up on the top floor of our place, and you're at the treetop level of the garden. And in the morning, you can sit and just watch all of the birds come, and it's extraordinary. And to close this up, what do you want to say for closing words? You say something, and then I'll say something.
Oh, I think what I witness when people come here, it takes them a few days, but then they're it's a different nervous system that happens here. So come on over to Sri Lanka and change your nervous system. And Ayubowan. Always welcome.
Ayubowan is a little bit like namaste. In closing, when I think about this, that Sri Lanka's given me back what I know not what of myself. If I deepen into the feeling of it, I would say that it's been the most powerful catalyst in my life for helping me to receive myself to myself, for slowing down enough to actually receive myself. And the ramifications of that are that it has really shifted my digestive system, how I process and assimilate food, how I receive help and support from others here. It used to be deeply uncomfortable to receive the level of support that we were calling in for this place in terms of just the simplest of things, but real things, somebody to work with the garden, and somebody to clean the house, and somebody to help cook, and somebody to manage the place, particularly when we're not here. It takes a lot more human power to manifest things here than it does in the West. It's just it's like a different universe. And I did not know how to receive and create in that way, in that community-oriented way. So for this, I am forever grateful. And I think the other thing is generosity. Like there's corruption here just like there is in every part of the world. There's trustworthy people and not trustworthy people. But in general, the generosity of the Sri Lankan people is my mind could not comprehend that level of generosity. That's actually what cracked my heart wide open the first time we came and had us coming back for more, if you will. And now that it's been, how many years? We started coming here in 2015, so 7 years that we've been spending substantial time here each year, with the exception of during COVID time when they were closed for 18 months. How do I say this? I didn't necessarily experience myself as a quote-unquote consumer. Of course, I am a consumer. I buy things and I participate in that kind of economy. But I'm deeply fulfilled by what I do, and I am, for whatever reason, how I've evolved as a human soul, I have generosity as a set point to a degree that most people don't. And I say that not as a comparison thing, and I felt slightly uncomfortable when I said it. But this is actually what's been reflected back to me through my life, and what I get to see the fruits of in my life. And I can remember when I was young reading this story, or I think my grandpa would read it to me, and it was about the little princess who had everything. And she had everything, and so then on her birthday, what she decided to do was, so since she had everything, her father had this alchemist, this magician, make her a special box. It was like a chest, so that all she had to do was wish for anything she wanted, and then she could open the box, and it was there. And he was like, this is the only thing left to give to the princess who has everything. And she went through a whole process of being excited about it, and then getting, like, in essence, bored with it, because once you have everything, I mean, there is a kind of stagnation in that. And so she decided on her birthday to have a big party and invite all the children from the kingdom. And she used her box to basically gift all of them what they wanted. And something about that story struck me really powerfully and stayed with me. And I just knew that when I gave to others, that it felt so good inside me that I felt like I was being given to as well. That was Rory jumping in the pool, by the way. And I had a whole journey of overgiving and overextending and all that good stuff. All that's there. And to say, with Sri Lanka, I got to understand the nature of an embodied generosity that trusts the flow of resources through the community orientation. Oh, I want to say that again. It's helped me to embody the kind of generosity, or embody generosity, that flows forth from trust in how resources flow through community. And it's made me so much more balanced in relationship to sacred reciprocity, giving and receiving. And what we've created here in terms of the exchanges and the team that we work together with in the villa, it feels like it's actually dismantling the structures of colonialism within our psyches and between us as humans. That's like it's such a profound gift I can't even put into words. It is fundamentally reordering my nervous system, and it has been for years. Oh, I'm so happy that we got to spend this time together. I'm walking back in now to the little garden where we have a sweet table that we have breakfast at sometimes. and past this Aurelia frangipani tree, where we took a branch from a frangipani tree with permission, but from a sacred temple site in up in the mountains of Sri Lanka, and it's now grown into this pretty nice size Aurelia tree. I think whenever the time is for the season to come for the flowers, I think we're going to have them this time. Okay, until next time. Much love from my heart to yours.